Hello, my wonderful FBF. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I do have the window open, so you might hear the rain or some urban life happening, but I like the windows open and I like to hear the rain. I wanted to bring this to you because this is something that Anna and I brought to our detox spa group for business women, where we help women to really connect to their inner genius, and so that way they can live the life that they love, activating their confidence and activating everything inside them that is purposely driven and given by God in order for them to have a wonderful life. But I wanted to bring this to you because it was just really powerful, and I was getting this information again to share it, so I'm just going to share it here. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. But the first thing I wanted to share with you is what I got in prayer, and then I'll go into the keys for manifestation. Imagination is the key to faster manifestation. It takes the force of focus and puts it into a limitless dimension. It unites and activates your feelings, which is your subconscious, and your heart, which interfaces between your spirit and your soul. So your heart is your interface. The more you do this, the more you prosper your soul, which in turn will make the truth of the word come to pass. You will prosper and be in health as your soul, your mind, your will, and emotions prosper. The more you feed your soul, the more prosperous you will be. Imagination is a powerful gateway to feed your soul anything that you want. And so Anna and I are great manifestors of the things that we want. And we understand that some things just take time. And so when you're going through these things of believing and going for certain things, sometimes it doesn't pan out the way you thought it would. And so for some things for me, it's just very easy for me to manifest it quickly. And I'm finding that it's just because it's a cumulative effect. So think about like mutual funds or some investments where it takes time, and over time you can make $1 million by doing a little bit of investing. That is the same thing with your thoughts. For those who are new to this, so your thoughts, neuroscience has showed us that you have about 6 seconds to decide what you're going to do with your thought. Your thought is either good for you or not good for you. It is black or it is in white. There is no gray. So it's absolutely important for you to decide. That's your free will. What you're going to do with that thought that fluttered up. It comes from internally and externally. So your free will is to decide what you're going to do with that thought. And once you accept it, your brain, which is a big drug dealer, is going to try to align your body with what you just thought because you accepted it. Accepting it means you want it. It doesn't know any better. So it's going to then release the chemical signatures and the hormones trying to match that thought that you just had. What happens is that if you're having a negative thought, if it's not good for you, it doesn't understand that because you're wired for love and for success. So it overfloods you, and now you're in chemical chaos. So the good thing is that when you have a thought, and I had asked the Lord a couple of days ago, I go, give me something fresh because I love tools, and God doesn't change, but methods do. And we see that even in marketing and in advertising. The principles are the same, but the methodology is different. And so I asked God, I said, I just need something fresh because I'm able to manifest these things. Like through a series of events, I was able to manifest going to this dream trip in Washington in very last minute. And it was amazing. And then right after that, I had a training opportunity. We had some of our folks from London come over, and they came specifically to be trained by me. So that was amazing, an amazing experience. And then this week, it was just more things of training, which I love to do. That's my sweet spot. So I got to do a lot of the things that I love to do for the last 3 weeks. But there were a couple things where I didn't see any movement at all. I couldn't tell if anything was happening. And I know we're not supposed to live by our feelings, but I was, transparency. I was struggling with, how do I cast down those thoughts? How do I transmute them the way I'm supposed to in order for me to be successful? Because I understand the power that God has given me through the power of free will, through the gift of free will, He has given me the authority and the power to shape my world, to co-create with him. But I need to do my part. And so this is what I wanted to share with you, is that when you have a thought, it is taking energetic mental real estate in your mind. It is an actual thing. And as I explained to you right now, and maybe refreshed you again about the science behind it, when you have that thought, how do you cast it down? What do you do? I forgot to turn that off. You might hear some things. This is what you do. You say, it's just a simple phrase. What am I manifesting now? I'm so sorry about that. I did not turn some things off. And now people are trying to call me through Messenger. So what you're saying is, what am I manifesting now? Because every thought you have is manifesting. Every single thought is manifesting. And the reason we don't have instantaneous results, like we watch Jesus, right? And like he had instantaneous results. Well, not always. He had to sometimes, bless people. When he was healing them, he had to give them a couple of treatments before it manifested. But he was trained. He was in training for like 30 years, right? At least from when he was 12 until he was released in his 30. So he was preparing for over a decade and a half before he was launched into ministry, into his ministry, into his calling. So as a Christian, you are empowered to do what he did and even greater. We're supposed to be doing even greater. And if you're not a Christian, this still applies to you because you're made in God's image and likeness, and you still have this capability. You still have free will. And this is still happening in your thought life. So take the lesson. So what you're saying is, what am I manifesting now? That will make you cast down that thought, and then you say what you want. And then you end it with the other part of the phrase is, I wonder how that's going to show up. So what does that do? This is going to do a couple things for you. This is so simple. Please don't miss it. God is making this simple for you because he wants you to get it. The problem with a lot of God's methodologies is that they're very simple. And we want to fight, we want to hustle, we want to work for it, we want to earn it. And you can't. He's just making it simple because it doesn't matter how smart you are. Can you follow instructions? If you're smart enough to follow instructions, then this is going to work for you. It doesn't have to be so hard. So when you have a thought that is not corresponding with what you want, you cast it down immediately by saying, what am I manifesting now? It's going to do two things for you. It's going to stop everything that's happening in your head, and it's going to remind you to say what you want, declare and decree it, because God tells us to stand to command our morning in Job, but he also said death and life are in the power of the tongue. So he's giving you the opportunity to stop the thoughts that are not agreeing with what you're supposed to be having, and now you can speak life into what you want, because God also tells us, this is all biblical. It all goes back to the word where he's been telling us for centuries. Let the weak say I'm strong. Let the poor say I'm rich. You're not. What you're doing is you're not lying. You are creating what you really want. You are calling it forth. You're giving life to that thing when you say it. So let's say you're in business, and maybe your business is not going so well, and you're thinking nobody is going to book me, or no one's going to buy my product, and that thought comes up, right? Because that's a conversation you're having with yourself and your subconscious. And you say, what am I manifesting now? I know my products is great. I give magical service for magical pay. I wonder how that's going to show up. And so when you're saying, I wonder how that's going to show up, what is that doing for you? It's allowing you to just release the how. It's allowing you to just release the hold on what you want so badly. Because sometimes we want something so bad, it becomes an idol. And we are so focused on that outcome and we want it a certain way, that we don't allow the best way for it to flow through. And so, yes, we need to strategize and we need to make plans and we need to do some things. But don't be so attached that it has to be a certain way or it's not going to happen that way. Detach how you want it to manifest. It's not about how you want it to manifest. It is about the best way for it to come to you. And it will come to you faster if you get out of your own way. It will come to you faster if you just allow the best way to come through. Release your control of how you expect it to come. So you have this thought. Let's say your body's hurting, right? You could say something like, it hurts, and it's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be healed. Stop. What am I manifesting now? By the stripes of Jesus, I am healed. I wonder how that's going to show up. I'm very excited. I trust him. He's not a liar. My body is lining up with the truth. And if you have to tell yourself that every single time you feel pain, what am I manifesting? What am I manifesting? You're manifesting it. And yes, all the glory goes to God, but he's giving you responsibility. And this is a simple thing. It is a simple gift. You have free will. Use it. Use the power he gave you to speak life or death. Use the resources. He's giving you every good and perfect spiritual gift. This is a spiritual gift. The ability to speak things into creation. And over time, things will run faster for you. And some things are already running faster. If you're one of those that says, every time I get money, something happens, guess what's happening, boo? Every time you get money, something happens. A bill comes in, your car breaks down, things have to happen with the children, and now the extra $500 you got, $1,000 you got, went to paying something else. Why? Because you keep on saying every time. I know some people who do that, and I love you, but you do that all the time, and then that happens to you. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy because you are actually creating it. How are you creating it? So how are you creating those negative things? You're like, well, I'm not causing my tire to blow. I'm not causing this to happen. I'm not causing that to happen. You are. Do you know how you're causing it to happen? Because you put blinders on. And so when you put blinders on, you can't see what's really happening. So let's say you're always saying, every time I get extra money, something happens. What happens is that now this thing maybe in your car that you should have fixed that would have cost you maybe $100, because you have blinders on and you're not seeing things that need to be fixed, right? Your brain is helping you. It's not allowing you to see the obvious. Go and fix that for 100. Now, because you delay and delay and delay and delay, now when money comes in, boom. It's actually grace that kept your car together. And then when you got the money, extra money, you were able to pay it off. But had you been paying attention, you could have done it for $100 and not $500. There goes your money. So when you put yourself in the box, so people are like, oh, you're attracting these things. You're not really attracting those things. You are creating it because you put blinders on. So if you start to say something different, like when you have that thought, every time that I have money, something happens. No. So now you're going to say, what am I manifesting now? I have more than enough money to give into every good work. I'm excited about that. I wonder how that's going to show up. What am I manifesting now? I am a great steward of all my things, of everything that I have. I bless it in Jesus' name. It is a blessing to me always. And I wonder how some of those things are going to show up to be a blessing. Beep, beep. How is it going to show up? So how does this work with your imagination? Where the mind goes, the man follows. So what do you have to do? Just take a couple seconds. When you stop and say, what am I manifesting now? And as you're saying it, like if you want your body healed, I am healed. And then start saying things like, oh, I love playing with my kids. I love taking out my wife. I get to be the husband with her I always wanted to be. I get to whatever it is that you want. But you need to say it, dream into it like for a few seconds. You'll start feeling your feelings start coming up. Your feelings and your emotions. Your feelings are just the language of the subconscious anyway. So you can feel your feelings. Just don't let them run you. Because it's just data. And that's why your feelings over time will change. And your emotions, they're different. They just kind of rise up. And I don't have enough time to go into that right now. I don't want to confuse you. I'm giving you a lot of information. So that's all you have to do. This is very, very simple. When you have a thought that rises up, immediately cast it down. But sometimes we hear these spiritual terms and we don't understand how to actually do it and why God told us. And now neuroscience is showing us why we have to cast these things down. Because some people believe that that's like an angel when you hear those things. That you have to cast it down because it's going to flood your body. And if you're having negative thoughts, guess what you're doing? You are causing inflammation to happen in your body because of your thought life. If you allowed a long time of negative thinking, the great thing is that God is so good. And I've talked about this before, but you can actually take that main issue and those main thoughts. Let's say you have one, maybe a healing thought or for your business. And you can start to rewire your brain. And in 21 days, through a series of some purposeful promptings, you will melt down that thought. Think of it like a tree. It's melting down like wax. And you're building up a beautiful green tree to take its place. And that will be part of your new belief system. We live out of our belief system. It's out of the abundance of the heart that we will speak. And as I said before, start to audit your words. Start to audit what you're saying. Is what you're saying in line with what you want? There are people who they're not even realizing what they're saying. And over a period of time, they have created their world by the words that they have spoken. Like, I'm always sick. I don't get sick, so even my staff says, she never gets sick. They all get the flu, and they'll skip me. Go to my boss. It kind of goes, flu, skip. It goes into his office. It's not coming for me. And now they're saying that truth, she don't get sick. I don't get sick. Thank you, Jesus. But I say those things every day. I'm in my 40s. And I say certain things every day. And people are just like, meet me and they're like, you're going to be 44? Mm-hmm. This is not genetics. Although my parents do look young, but I know my face and I know how it looked before and I know how it looks now. So it works. I am a fit tone size 5. I don't exercise. Although I've been wanting to recently start lifting weights, and so I don't want to get too thin. So that means I have to eat more as well, and I already eat a lot, and so I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Because I kind of want muscles. No. I'll figure it out word-wise. So I always start with the word. I always start with declaring. I always start with decreeing. So that's what you have to do. If you want to manifest faster, now know that some things that you want is going to take some time because you need to be mature in some things. It's not for you. But there is a level of maturity in your character that also needs to be developed, because if God puts you where you want to be right now, and not all of you, but if there was some delay, it could be a character issue. And I'm not saying a character issue like you're off sinning and do all crazy stuff. It's not about that. It's not. It's about you being ready for being in the spotlight. You being ready to live in the fishbowl. You being ready to receive all the stuff that comes with being kind of famous. Having that favor. Where people are like telling you how great you are. I mean, you are great. They're going to tell you things that are true. That you're great. That you're awesome. They love your products. They love your service. They love you. I mean, the accolades, you know. And the thing is like receiving it with humility. Because you are those things. And so it's a delicate balance of being completely confident of who God created you to be. And saying yes to that. Because you have to say yes to that in order to walk in that and to give off that vibe. And at the same time, be soft and humble and open and teachable and kind in order for you to make the biggest impact. And so where you're going, you don't want your skill set and your gifts to take you where your character can't keep you. Because then what happens is that you feel a lot of pressure and you might compromise. Then what happens is that you might feel pressure and start to drink in order for you to have, and there's nothing wrong with drinking. I mean, I have a glass of wine or two. But when you use those things in order for you to numb yourself, in order for you to deal with the pressure of that, there is pressure. And if you don't know yourself, if you are not grounded in yourself, if you're not grounded in who you are and who you created to be, then you will compromise who you are. And it doesn't mean that you're compromising in a sinful way, but maybe the actions that you're doing is compromising your purpose. It's saying yes to opportunities that you have no business being in. And it's not like a bad opportunity. It's just not in line with your purpose. You think you have to because that's the way everybody else is doing it. No. Slow down and check in and check in with your instinct. Kind of went off on a tangent, but I do that because as things are flowing in, somebody needed to hear certain points, and I'm seeing hearts and thumbs up, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. That really encourages me. So I know that the things that I'm flowing in, and I'm going to upload this on YouTube, so they might be like, okay, you're all over the place. No, I'm not. Just take the pieces that you need. And maybe the pieces that you don't, remember them for when you need them. So let me wrap this up for you. When you're having your thoughts that don't correspond with what you want, take them captive by saying, what am I manifesting now? And say it in an upbeat tone of voice. Because that's telling your body, shh. Pay attention, something good's about to be spoken. And then say what you want. Keep it short. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain so that those that run with it can see it, can run with it. That's for you too. Keep it short. It's not a soliloquy. It's not a monologue. Unless you're in your prayer time and you're just really trying to shift something. No, you're just taking a few seconds to have your body secrete the right kind of chemicals. Because now you're speaking for more than 6 seconds. What am I manifesting now? I feel great. I am so thankful that I am healed. I am so thankful that I'm able to do the things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I wonder how that's going to show up. I wonder how this is going to unfold. I wonder really how much fun I'm going to have with my family now, with my friends now, in my business now, that my body is free from pain. I'm so looking forward to that right now, and start to dream into it. Dream into it. That's my phrase to my clients. Dream into it. And if you can, take a few minutes to just dream into it and speak it out loud. Speak it out loud. Speak it out loud. Because what happens is that as you, again, where the mind goes, the man follows, as you continue to say these things, now what you weren't seeing, ta-da, you'll start to notice things that you didn't notice before. because your brain will help you. And over time, things will happen faster. They will. They will. But it's time for you to get off milk. It's time for you to have some meat. This is for grown folk. If you want to live off the government and just, be mediocre, I'm not for you. I love you. I bless you. Have fun. Enjoy your life. But if you want more, if you want to change this world by changing your community, by changing your state, by changing your country, then this is for you. Don't forget, if you are a businesswoman, a spiritual entrepreneur, and you want to be in a safe place of activation, I invite you to join Anna and I in the Detox Spa group. You can join us by going to bit.ly/Detox Spa group and just answer the questions. And there's 3 questions there. It'll take you less than 30 seconds and we'll let you right on in. We have almost 100 women there that we are privileged to release fresh content every single Friday in our Detox Spa. And we also do things during the week. It's only for women because we need to have a safe place of activation in order for us to just talk about things that women need to talk about. And we don't always have the freedom when men are there. So sorry, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Oh, thank you, Jack. How are you? I haven't talked to you in such a long time. I'm just going to look real quick. Thank you so much for everybody just coming on in. Carmen and Scott and Valerie. Thank you so much. Kelly, for being here, for talking to me. Ellen, Patty, Vernon. Thank you so much, David. Bubba, Anna. I think I said Carmen, but I'll just say you again, Carmen. I love my Kelly too. Another David, Jacques. I'm doing well, Jacques. I see that you're always doing well, looking good, and you're continuing to increase. I just love watching your feed. Thank you, Scott, for saying that you needed this. Thank you for calling me a rock star. Jacques is like, what? No men? Jacques, you should really start one for men. You would be amazing at it. And I can totally talk to you about that offline. But the men need that too. They need their cave. They need they need their space to just be men, to just be alphas, to be with other alpha men, and be able to talk about things. You don't want to talk about the women. Feel free to talk about them. So you should have a safe place of activation yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much. Oh, hi, Ruth. Thank you so much for the kind hearts and the thumbs up and the conversation that's happening in here. I really appreciate the encouragement, and I hope that this encourages you. I'm going to put this on YouTube. Yes, Alpha Lions, Jack. I like that. Yes. I love men. I want men to be men, and they're made to be alphas, and I bless the men that connect with me in the name of Jesus. I want them to live, that you have a hard job. Your job is to be a reflection of Jesus. He is the divine masculine of all time. So, you're the hunters. You're the ones who go out and provide. I mean, we provide too in different ways, but in the divine order of things, it's hard to be a guy. I mean, it's hard to be a woman too, but we have different issues. But I bless you guys in the name of the Lord Jesus. All of you men and women, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you have any questions about what I just talked about, if you want more clarity, if you want any other insight, or you want some strategy around this, let me know in the comments or send me a direct message. Love you. Have a great night. And I'll talk to all of you soon. I've missed you. Bye now.